Hey everyone! So you're learning to drive? I know, it feels like there's a million things to remember. But trust me, getting a handle on your car's lights is a huge step. It's not just about passing your test, it's about being safe, confident, and just a good driver out on the road. So let's dive in and get this sorted.
First things first, let's be real. You've probably glanced down at your dashboard, seen one of these symbols pop up, and had that split second of panic, right? Like, what is my car trying to tell me? Don't worry, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to make these icons make sense so you'll know exactly what's what.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why this stuff is so important. Then we'll cover the lights you use all the time, how to handle nasty weather, and the special rules for things like tunnels and parking. After that, we'll talk hazard lights, and we'll wrap it all up with a quick checklist to make sure you nail your exam.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Why are we so obsessed with car lights? I mean, they turn on, they turn off. What's the big deal? Well, it all boils down to one really fundamental idea about driving.
Here it is, the big secret. Every single light on your car has two jobs. Job 1, help you see the road. Easy enough. But job 2 is just as critical. Help other people see you. And this is the key part. You have to do that without blasting their eyeballs with light. It's all about seeing and being seen safely. All right, let's get into the lights you'll be flicking on and off the most. These are the workhorses, the ones you'll use day in and day out. Yep, we're talking about low beams and high beams.
Think of your dipped headlights, what we also call low beams, as your polite, everyday lights. They light up the road ahead perfectly fine without shining right into the eyes of oncoming drivers. Now, high beams, those are your superpowers. They are awesome for lighting up a completely dark, empty road. But with great power comes great responsibility.
And that responsibility is all about knowing when to turn them off. This is so important. If the road is already well lit and you can see 100 meters ahead, you just don't need them. If a car is coming towards you, switch them off way in advance. And please, if you're driving behind someone, within about 50 meters, switch to low beams. Nobody wants to be blinded through their own rearview mirror. So driving in the dark is one thing, but when the sky opens up and the weather gets ugly, that's a whole different challenge. This is when your lights go from being helpful to being absolutely critical for survival. Okay, get ready to tattoo this number on your brain because it's a huge one for your exam. 200 meters. If you're driving, even in the middle of the day, and you can't see 200 meters ahead because of heavy rain, thick fog, or snow, your dipped headlights have to be on. End of story. This isn't for you to see better, it's so that others can see you coming.
Now, fog lights. These can be a little confusing, so let's make it simple. Front fog lights, they're optional. Your car doesn't have to have them. So while you can use them in fog or heavy rain, you're never required to. But the rear fog light, that's a different beast. Your car must have one, and you are required to use it when visibility drops below 100 meters in fog or heavy snow. It's an incredibly bright red light designed to punch through that gloom. Okay, moving on to a couple of special cases. Driving through tunnels and parking at night might not seem related, but they both have their own very specific, very simple rules for lighting.
When you're about to enter a tunnel, your eyes need to adjust fast. So the drill is simple. Sunglasses off, dipped headlights on. Do it right before you enter. This makes sure you can see, and you guessed it, others can see you. Now for the emergency stuff. If you have to abandon your car in a tunnel because of a fire, you pull to the right, get out, and this is the important part. Leave the key in. That way, emergency crews can move your car if they need to. And the parking rule is just as straightforward. If you're parked on a road or shoulder from dusk till dawn, or any time the visibility is poor, that's our 200-meter rule again, your parking lights has to be on. It just puts a little glowing outline around your car so other drivers don't accidentally run into it.
Next up, let's talk about the flashing triangles, the hazard lights. They are a super powerful way to send a warning to other drivers, but you absolutely cannot use them for just anything. So what are the official do's? Well, there were three big ones. First, your car is broken down and is now an obstacle. Second, you see a sudden danger up ahead, like traffic that's come to a dead stop, and you need to warn the driver behind you. And third, you'll see them on school buses when they're stopped to let kids on or off. It's a signal for everyone to be super careful. And now for the biggest don't of all. Please, I'm begging you, never use your hazard lights as park anywhere lights. Hitting that button does not magically make an illegal parking spot legal. All it does is tell the traffic officer, hey, look at me, I'm parked illegally. It can actually add another fine to your ticket. They're for danger, not for convenience. Okay, deep breath. We have covered a ton of ground. So let's bring it all home.
and create a final checklist. This is the stuff you absolutely want to have locked and loaded in your brain for that theory exam. Let's do a rapid-fire review. The 200-meter rule. For bad weather visibility, dipped beams on. The 100-meter rule. If a lit road lets you see that far, high beams off. The 50-meter rule. Following a car that close, high beams off. Tunnels. Dipped headlights on, no exceptions. And hazards? For breakdowns, warnings, or school buses only. You got this.
So, we've gone all the way from those confusing little symbols to the hard and fast rules for pretty much every situation. But knowing the rules is only half the battle. So now that you're armed with all this info, what's the first thing you're going to check or practice the next time you get behind the wheel? Thanks so much for watching, and drive safe out there.